You ever stumble across a game so weird, so out there, so absolutely brilliant that you instantly wonder, why the heck isn't everyone talking about this? Yeah, same here. So today, we're diving face first into a world where creativity runs wild, where the budgets are small but the ideas are massive, and where, let's be real, you might find your next favorite game hiding behind a pixelated chicken or a sentient typewriter. We're talking about overlooked indie games, the ones that got buried under AAA hype, algorithmic blindness, or just plain bad luck. But trust me, these aren't your average quirky little projects. Nah, these games will twist your brain, tug your heartstrings, and maybe even make you question reality. Some will have you building friendships with ghosts, others fighting your way out of jail as a retired Yakuza grandpa. I mean, when was the last time a Call of Duty did that? So grab your controller, open your mind, and maybe, just maybe, prepare to have it blown. Because the indie underground, it's not just alive, it's thriving. Let's get weird. Now, how about something completely different? Enter Bears in Space, a game that absolutely refuses to take itself seriously, and honestly, it's brilliant because of it. Imagine blasting your way through absurdly colorful levels as a bear armed to the teeth, all while dealing with the kind of humor that lands perfectly every time. It's chaotic, hilarious, and endlessly inventive. Bears in Space is not your average first-person shooter. Sure, you're blasting enemies left and right, but these aren't just any enemies. They're space pirates, robotic bees, and even other bears in astronaut suits. The gameplay is fast, fluid, and full of quirky mechanics that keep each level feeling fresh and engaging. Whether you're grappling across space debris or using gravity-defying jetpacks, the game never lets the action get stale. But what truly makes Bears in Space shine is its humor and charm. Dialogues are witty, character interactions are hilariously exaggerated, and the environments themselves are packed with funny, delightful details. This is the kind of game that puts a smile on your face from the moment you boot it up to the moment you reluctantly shut it down. If you need a game that combines explosive action with genuine laughs, Bears in Space is begging to be played. Imagine a roguelike that doesn't just test your skills, it tugs at your heartstring. Children of Morta is precisely that game. Centered around the Bergson family, this action RPG weaves a rich, heartfelt narrative into its dungeon-crawling mechanics. Each family member you control offers unique abilities, blending gameplay variety with deeply personal stories. What makes Children of Morta truly shine is its gorgeous pixel art aesthetic, which beautifully captures the game's emotional depth and epic scope. Each dungeon feels alive, brimming with dangerous foes and unexpected allies, pulling you deeper into the mystery and magic surrounding the family's ancestral duty. The real hook here, though, is the storytelling. Rather than merely upgrading characters, you're invested in the Bergsons' family bonds. The game masterfully portrays their struggles and triumphs, turning typical RPG progression into an emotionally rewarding journey. As you venture deeper into each run, you'll unravel more of the family's secrets and challenges, creating a compelling loop that's tough to put down. If you're looking for a game that blends dungeon action, heartwarming narrative, and stunning visuals seamlessly, Children of Morta is one indie treasure you shouldn't overlook. Ever dreamed about stepping into a game where every swing, parry, and strike genuinely feels impactful? Welcome to Corpus Edax, a hidden indie treasure that isn't afraid to put physics at the heart of its combat system. This immersive sim drops you into a gritty world where your creativity isn't just encouraged, it's essential. Whether you're the type who likes sneaking around enemies, orchestrating elaborate traps, or charging headlong into battle, Corpus Edax delivers an impressive sandbox of possibilities. What sets Corpus Edax apart is the sheer weight of its melee combat. This isn't your typical hack and slash. Every blow has real, tangible momentum. Every weapon behaves uniquely, and every enemy interaction feels satisfyingly tactile. Picture swinging a mace and feeling the resistance as you shatter a shield, or carefully aiming your sword thrust to exploit gaps in your enemy's armor. The game's environments themselves become playgrounds for strategy, letting you use fire, gravity, and objects around you to tip the scales of battle. Corpus Edax respects your intelligence, offering puzzles and challenges that encourage exploration and experimentation. There's no hand-holding here, just pure player-driven freedom. If you're looking for a game that blends smart design with raw physical combat, this indie gem deserves your full attention. Now, here's something for my fellow sci-fi nerds and immersive sim fanatics. Cottrell Alt Ego, a game so inventive it practically demands your attention. Forget controlling just one character. How about controlling a bunch of machines, robots, and weird gadgets to creatively outsmart every obstacle in your path? Yeah, I thought you'd be interested. In Cottrell Alt Ego, your consciousness hops from one electronic gizmo to another. Each machine you take over brings unique abilities, from sneaky little drones perfect for stealth to hulking robots capable of brute force mayhem. This game doesn't just encourage creativity, it practically thrives on it. Solve problems your way, hack systems, set traps, or just bash your way through. The beauty of Cultural Alt Ego is how it perfectly balances freedom and challenge. Each level feels like a sandbox waiting for you to dive in and mess around with the rules. The game's quirky humor and tongue-in-cheek storytelling add even more charm to an already brilliant package. And visually, it channels that classic immersive sim vibe with a retro-futuristic aesthetic that's impossible not to love. If you've been craving an experience that lets you play around, experiment wildly, and feel genuinely clever when your plans pay off, Control Alt Ego is exactly the hidden gem you need to check out. Seriously, don't miss out on this brilliantly inventive indie masterpiece. Ever wanted to feel like you're living inside a gritty Japanese crime drama? Welcome to Fading Afternoon, a beat-em-up that's less about endless combos and more about the punchy, messy reality of life after prison. For a Yakuza member, no less. Set in the neon-lit backstreets of Osaka, you play as Seiji Maruyama, a man fresh out of jail and thrust right back into the tumultuous underworld. But here's the twist. This isn't just about breaking bones. It's also about piecing a fractured life back together. Fading Afternoon cleverly blends fierce combat with immersive life simulation elements. Between intense street fights, you'll find yourself managing relationships, making tough moral choices, and navigating the complexities of loyalty and honor in the Yakuza hierarchy. The game's visuals, drenched in nostalgic pixel art, bring Osaka vividly to life, each alleyway brimming with character. Combat is raw and brutal, ensuring each encounter feels meaningful rather than mindless. It's a rare indie gem that delivers depth through both action and storytelling, making every punch thrown a metaphor for survival in a rapidly changing world. If you're into games that aren't afraid to mix emotional storytelling with street-level grit, Fading Afternoon deserves your immediate attention. If you're tired of horror games that simply throw cheap jump scares at you, hoping you'll fling your popcorn across the room, let me introduce you to a hidden gem called Fear the Spotlight. This retro-inspired survival horror title ditches the predictable scares and goes straight for deep-seated psychological tension. And let me tell you, it works beautifully. Picture this. You're trapped in an abandoned high school, armed with nothing but your wits, a flashlight, and creeping paranoia that someone's always watching you. The atmosphere, thick enough to cut with a knife. Grainy visuals and dimly lit corridors evoke that nostalgic 90s survival horror vibe, reminiscent of classics like Silent Hill and Resident Evil. But the genius here is in how Fear the Spotlight uses suspense. It doesn't bombard you with jump scares, it patiently builds dread until your heart is pounding in your ears. Story-wise, you're piecing together the unsettling mystery behind the school's eerie silence and what sinister force lurks in the shadows. The storytelling here is subtle yet powerful, scattered through carefully placed notes, old VHS tapes, and cryptic clues left behind by former students. Each discovery pushes you deeper into a chilling narrative, making you desperate to unravel the full story, if you can survive that long. Gameplay in Fear the Spotlight involves careful exploration, puzzle solving, and stealthily evading the mysterious entity roaming the halls. Your flashlight, both a lifeline and a beacon that could draw unwanted attention, adding layers of tension to every decision you make. In a sea of predictable horror, Fear the Spotlight feels refreshingly original and genuinely nerve-wracking. It reminds us what true horror gaming is all about: atmosphere, storytelling, and that spine-chilling anticipation of what's lurking just beyond the beam of your flashlight. If you appreciate smart, atmospheric horror with a nod to nostalgic classics, don't overlook Fear the Spotlight. It deserves way more attention and might just keep you awake tonight, questioning every shadow in your room. Picture this. You're sneaking through shadowy alleys in a dark, Victorian-inspired city, holding your breath as you narrowly avoid detection. Welcome to Gloomwood, a stealth horror experience that's dripping with atmosphere and suspense. It's like stepping into a gothic novel filled with secrets, sinister figures, and a constant sense of dread. Perfect for fans who crave both chills and strategic gameplay. Gloomwood isn't just about hiding in shadows, it's about choosing when to confront and when to evade. Armed with an array of intriguing tools, from stealthy weapons to clever distractions, every encounter challenges you to think tactically. Do you silently dispatch the lurking figure around the corner or slip by unnoticed, conserving your precious resources? The level design is a masterpiece, intricately woven to reward players who explore. Secret passageways, hidden items, and environmental storytelling make each location rich with detail. And let's not forget the exceptional audio design. Every creaking floorboard, distant whisper, and unsettling footstep will have you questioning your own bravery. If you're seeking a game that blends classic stealth mechanics with immersive horror, Gloomwood might just become your new favorite hidden gem. Alright, let's talk about Grun, a game that's hard to pin down because it's anything but ordinary. Imagine diving into a game expecting one thing, but then discovering a narrative and gameplay experience so refreshingly weird and compelling that it completely defies your expectation. Grun blends storytelling and gameplay in ways that genuinely feel experimental, pushing the boundaries of what indie games typically deliver. In Grun, you're thrust into an evocative narrative filled with surreal elements and thought-provoking scenarios. It's not your standard point A to point B journey. Far from it. You're constantly challenged, surprised, and intrigued by its storytelling choices and game mechanics. It's the kind of game that sticks with you, sparking late-night thoughts about its deeper meanings and clever design choices. The visuals add another layer to the experience. Minimalist yet powerful, conveying a lot with very little. Grun doesn't spoon-feed you. Instead, it lets you interpret the story and gameplay in your own unique way. If you're craving something truly original, something that'll make you say, "Whoa, I've never seen a game quite like this," then Grun should definitely be on your radar. Ever felt like diving headfirst into a game that whispers existential mysteries into your ear while painting a surreal canvas around you? Let me introduce you to Indica, a haunting, narrative-driven journey that plunges you into the mesmerizing and often unsettling world of a young nun exploring faith, identity, and reality itself. Set against an eerily atmospheric backdrop inspired by rural Russia, this isn't your typical indie adventure. The visuals alone feel like you've stepped inside an old, forgotten painting. Washed-out colors and delicate brushstrokes create an atmosphere of solitude, perfectly capturing the quiet, introspective tension of the game. And let me tell you, tension here isn't about monsters lurking around corners. Instead, it's about the heavy weight of your character's inner conflicts and doubts. What sets Indica apart isn't just the visuals, though, they're gorgeous, but it's the storytelling. As you guide your young protagonist through the winding paths of a seemingly simple pilgrimage, you uncover layers of symbolic meaning hidden in dialogues and subtle interaction. Every conversation, every choice, challenges your perceptions about faith, spirituality, and personal identity. Ever played a game where you genuinely questioned your own beliefs alongside your character? This is exactly what Indica does, making your journey deeply personal and quietly profound. Gameplay-wise, Indica is gentle, almost meditative. You won't be fighting hordes of enemies or solving frantic puzzles here. Instead, you engage in thoughtful exploration, dialogue-driven interactions, and subtle narrative choices that quietly influence your path. It's perfect for those reflective evenings when you're craving something thought-provoking rather than action-packed. If you're looking for a game that speaks softly but leaves a lasting impression, Indica is your hidden indie treasure. Give it a chance. It just might touch your soul in ways you never expected. If you've ever wished gaming could be a friendlier, more communal experience, let me introduce you to Karma Zoo. This cooperative platformer isn't just about beating levels. It's about building connections, helping each other, and feeling good doing it. Imagine hopping online, joining forces with a bunch of strangers, and discovering that teamwork doesn't have to be frustrating. Karma Zoo excels at turning random online encounters into delightful team-building moments. The core gameplay revolves around collaboration. You and your teammates need to work together to overcome obstacles, activate mechanisms, and navigate tricky platforming sections. The beauty of Karma Zoo lies in how it rewards positive interaction. The more you cooperate, assist each other, and foster a sense of community, the better you all perform. It's like the game is subtly nudging everyone towards kindness and camaraderie, and honestly, that feels amazing. Visually, Karma Zoo is charmingly simple, yet beautifully crafted, with a warm aesthetic that encourages positivity and inclusiveness. It's the kind of game you can jump into after a stressful day, instantly feeling welcomed and valued. If you've ever felt jaded by toxic online interactions, Karma Zoo is the perfect antidote, reminding us why gaming with others can be incredibly rewarding when done right. Okay, picture this. You're chilling out, maybe after a rough day, and you stumble across a little game called Odada. Now, this isn't your typical rhythm game. Far from it. Odada invites you into this playful, tactile universe where creating music isn't just a hobby, it's pure joy. Think building blocks, but instead of towers, you're crafting intricate soundscapes. Each element you interact with produces a unique sound, and before you know it, you're lost in your own musical world, experimenting, remixing, and vibing. What makes Odada shine is how effortlessly approachable it is. Even if you have zero musical talent, and trust me, my singing in the shower doesn't count, you'll quickly find yourself captivated by how intuitive the game feels. The visual style is whimsical and charming, with a vibrant palette that's easy on the eyes. It's like having a chill jam session in your pocket. Whether you're crafting ambient beats to relax or upbeat rhythms to energize, Odada is a hidden gem waiting to soothe your soul through the magic of music. Ever dreamed of being a detective in a gritty, neon-lit noir city with endless mysteries to solve? Of course you have. Enter Shadows of Doubt, a game so immersive it'll have you dusting off your trench coat and practicing your best detective growl. But hold on, this isn't just another detective sim. We're talking a fully procedural city, meaning no two playthroughs are ever the same. Your case, your leads, your suspects, all uniquely generated every time you hit that new game button. That's right, detective, you'll need to track clues, piece together evidence, and maybe even indulge in a little espionage to catch your perp. The depth here is incredible. Stakeouts, interrogation, surveillance, heck, you can even break into apartments or sift through trash for clues. Nothing is off limits, and the freedom is exhilarating. Imagine Blade Runner meets classic detective films with a sprinkle of open-world sandbox chaos. Visually, Shadows of Doubt captures that moody noir aesthetic flawlessly, soaking every pixel in a blend of darkness and neon lights. It's immersive sim heaven, my friends, and if solving mysteries in an endless cyberpunk playground sounds like your jam, you absolutely need to jump into Shadows of Doubt right now. Trust me, your inner Sherlock will thank you. Okay, puzzle fans and folklore lovers, strap in because The Rewinder is about to whisk you away to a world dripping with mystery and drenched in ancient Chinese lore. This isn't your standard puzzle game, oh no. It's a hauntingly beautiful dive into the past where every choice you make ripples through time, altering lives and destinies. In The Rewinder, you step into the shoes of Yun, a young investigator blessed or cursed with the unique ability to manipulate memories. Your job? Untangle the twisted web of events causing restless spirits to linger in the mortal realm. And let me tell you, this game isn't afraid to dive deep. We're talking about heartfelt stories, tough moral decisions, and some seriously clever puzzles that will stretch your brain muscles. What makes it stand out even more? The stunning hand-drawn art style that's nothing short of mesmerizing. Every frame feels like stepping into an ancient painting. And the sound design, just imagine hauntingly beautiful melodies that capture the eerie yet enchanting atmosphere perfectly. If you're a fan of puzzle adventures or just love deep narrative-driven games, trust me, you don't want to sleep on The Rewinder. It's the perfect blend of chilling folklore and clever gameplay. Seriously, folks, give this hidden gem the love it deserves. Have you ever closed your eyes and imagined solving crimes purely by listening? Welcome to Unheard, Voices of Crime, a detective game unlike anything you've played before. Forget the visuals, your primary tool here is sound. This game challenges your auditory sleuthing skills, placing you in scenarios where you must piece together clues from conversations and background noises alone. Picture yourself sitting in a darkened room, headphones on, as whispers, footsteps, and distant cries build a gripping narrative around you. Each scenario involves intricate puzzles where timelines and dialogues intersect cleverly, forcing you to rely on your ears rather than your eyes. You're effectively dropped into a web of intrigue, eavesdropping on potential suspects, trying to pinpoint lies, truth, and motive, all from subtle nuances in their speech. Unheard masterfully crafts its audio environments to make each case feel immersive and authentic. The absence of visual cues amplifies the tension and encourages razor-sharp focus. It's a refreshing approach to detective games, stripping away distractions to deliver storytelling that's both intimate and hauntingly captivating. If you crave innovation in your gaming experience, Unheard. Voices of Crime whispers loudly in your direction. Okay, buckle up. No, seriously, buckle up tight. Because What the Car is hands down the most hilariously chaotic indie racer I've played in ages. Forget realism, forget physics as you know them. This game proudly tosses logic out the window and replaces your wheels with anything from human legs, springs, or even rockets. Yeah, it gets pretty wild. From the creators who brought us quirky gems like What the Golf? Zerenia. This new entry dives headfirst into absurdity. Every single level introduces a completely unexpected mechanic. One moment, you're driving along casually, the next your car sprouts legs and you're awkwardly sprinting towards the finish line, desperately trying to avoid tumbling over. And just when you think you've gotten used to running, guess what? Now your car has wings or it's turned into a refrigerator. Yes, a refrigerator. Why? Honestly, why not? Each track in What the Car feels like a fresh comedic skit, packed with delightful surprises and moments that make you laugh out loud. It's a rare experience where failure is almost as enjoyable as success. Trust me, watching your car spiral uncontrollably off a cliff because it suddenly turned into a floppy jelly cube is pure comedy gold. And don't even get me started on the charming visuals and upbeat soundtrack that perfectly complement the zany gameplay. Bright, colorful worlds full of whimsy keep the mood lighthearted, turning every failure into a joyfully chaotic masterpiece. If you want a game that continuously surprises you, makes you laugh till your sides hurt, and provides genuinely inventive gameplay twists at every turn, What the Car deserves a spot in your indie collection. Honestly, indie gaming doesn't get much more delightfully absurd than this. And there you have it, 15 indie games that didn't just fly under the radar, they ninja rolled right past it wearing a cardboard box and humming their own background music. Now, if at least one of those titles didn't make you go, wait, how have I never heard of this? Then either you're already living in the indie trenches, or you're secretly an algorithm. And if that's the case, I respect your commitment. But seriously, these games are proof that you don't need $1 billion budget to create something unforgettable. You just need heart, a little chaos, and apparently a strong desire to emotionally wreck your players in under 6 hours. So here's your mission. Pick one of these hidden gems, play it, and tell me down in the comments which one stole your soul, or at least made you cancel plans for the weekend. And hey, if this list blew your mind even a little, do your part. Drop a like, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money, and share this video with a friend who thinks they've played everything. Until next time, keep your backlog weird, your indie spirit alive, and remember, some of the best stories are hiding in the games no one's talking about yet.